Rome seemed to own the world. Her empire stretched from Scotland to the Sahara. Her army controlled 3 continents. 50 million people lived under her laws. Rome's empire was the greatest political prize the world had ever seen. This is the story of those who would do anything to win it. It's a warm spring night in 82 BC, and Rome is struggling to control one of its generals. Lucius Cornelius Sulla has camped 50,000 soldiers just outside the city to intimidate his opponents in Rome. Sulla is a cunning politician and a brilliant general. He's returning from a successful 4-year campaign in the east and is used to getting his way. He meets with the Roman Senate and demands they give his soldiers land as a reward for their conquests. For the first time in Roman history, a general is bullying the government. The senators refuse. At issue is the very future of the Roman state. Can Rome's civilian government control the ambition of her generals? Or will brute force triumph over the rule of law? That night, Sulla posted his answer. Lists of his political enemies with cash rewards next to their names. Sulla had tried to persuade his opponents. Now he promised to kill them. It was a bloodbath. Thousands died.
Husbands were slaughtered in the embraces of their wives, sons in the arms of their mothers. And those who were killed in the passion of the moment were as nothing compared with those who were just butchered for the sake of their property. Plutarch.
Sulla's reign of terror only lasted 4 years, but a fatal precedent had been set. A general had returned from war and persuaded a Roman army to help him seize power in Rome. Yet 400 years earlier, Romans had dreamed of something very different. When Rome was nothing more than a village on the banks of the river Tiber, Romans made a revolutionary commitment that would change the course of history. After years of tyranny under Etruscan kings, they dreamed of a government based on restraint, trust, and the rule of law. In 509 BC, they created the Roman Republic, the world's first representative government. SPQR, Senatus Populus Quae Romanus. The Senate and the people of Rome was its motto. The Republic was a bold experiment in communal government. Wealthy and poor farmers agreed to share power. The rich served as Rome's leaders, the poor as her soldiers. In return, everyone had a say in how the government was run. Romans knew the key to the Republic's success was responsible leadership. And in Gaius Quintius Cincinnatus, they found a legendary role model. The Senate granted Cincinnatus, a Roman landowner, absolute power to defend Rome from an aggressive local tribe. He accepted the position and defeated the enemy. 14 days later, he voluntarily resigned and humbly went back to work on his farm. His sense of duty, sacrifice, and loyalty to the state embodied everything the new republic stood for. The Roman Republic has served as a model for Western democracies ever since. Everything from its public architecture to its political rituals is strangely familiar. Once a year, the whole city would turn out to vote for its leaders. Competition for the consulship, the most important public office, was intense.
The election of a consul in the Roman Republic is like the election of the American president. You call people friends who you would not normally call friends. You shake hands, you kiss babies. And what you're trying to do is to get a bandwagon going, to appear a winner. And very gradually, as in American presidential elections, people drop by the wayside. Something goes wrong with their campaign.
The remaining candidates then turned to their spin doctors.
If it can be managed at all, there should be scandalous talk of character, about the crimes, lusts, and briberies of your competitors. Quintus.
It was up to the senators to ensure that politics didn't get too frivolous. They were the guardians of Rome's traditions.
The Roman Senate and the American Senate are the two greatest senates of all time. Roman senators got no pay. They serve for the honor of serving their state as a senator. The Senate was intended to be made up of old men, not the swiftest of the swift or the strongest of the strong, but the wisest of the wise. Why were they wise? Why were they the wisest of the wise? Because they were old men. They had experience.
Under their watchful eye, the young republic fostered a sense of civic pride, the foundation of Rome's empire. Her volunteer army carried Roman power to unimaginable places. By the 2nd century BC, Rome was mistress of the Mediterranean. Yet beneath the surface of Rome's success lurked serious contradictions. Women had few rights, and it was never one man, one vote. Elections were always rigged in favor of the wealthy. Political equality was never a Roman ideal. They lived in a world of extremes. While the rich redefined the meaning of decadence, 95% of the people struggled below the poverty line. This social imbalance would fuel the most disruptive tradition in Republican Rome: patronage. Every morning at dawn, the poor gathered in the courtyards of the rich. These wealthy patrons saw to the needs of their clients. Some needed work, others legal advice. In return, clients promised patrons their vote at election time. But Rome's great patrons were also Rome's great politicians, and obligations to their clients often clouded their duty to the state. Loyalty was divided, and the ideals of the Republic compromised. The conflict between patronage and politics was set to explode.